budget shortfalls and what to do about those. So we're actually just going to do kind of a general question, and I'm going to give the candidates, again, 2 minutes each since it's such a big topic. The serious shortfalls we face in Plano cannot be addressed as simply cutting spending or raising property taxes. Give as specific examples as possible from your study of the budget of places cuts are possible and revenue enhancement can be accomplished. And we will start with Ms. Fang.
Okay, for cut expenditure, I think nobody want to reduce expense. You want to spend as much as you can, but we have to face the reality. And when I look the budget of City of Plano, 75% is in payroll. So I think we have to review every department and see if there's any expense we can reduce. Just like the private industry, when there's a difficult time, then the company will announce there's a hiring freeze and there's a freeze in salary. So I do not like that, but I think in the long run, if you are talking about reduced expense, at least, we need to freeze the increase of salary. From what I have seen, like in the last couple of years, the average increase in other cities is 3%, and in Plano is 4.7%. So I just be realistic and honest with you people. I see we have to freeze increase of salary. This can reduce more expense, at least stay in the current level. And for the tax, I'm not a fan of increased tax. I think there's people tell me if you don't increase tax, you cannot meet the budget. I think that's the last option. We need to see what we can do first. And I'd rather increase the tax base than increase the tax rate. So we will need to look about if we can bring business relocate to Plano to increase the tax base.
I think obviously we all know that the last thing any of us want to do is increase taxes. That is certainly the last option. We have to look at the budget, as my opponent has said. We will look at every line item. We will look for efficiencies, and we know that this city, like any business, is going to have to do more with less. There's no question about it. But when we look at those, we also have to be conscious of what each one of those cuts will do as far as impacting the citizens and which services will actually impact which citizens. I think that some of the areas, in addition to line by line, looking at cuts in departments, certainly looking at administrative costs and salary is one of those areas, but we also need to look at the revenue options or the options for increasing revenue beyond just a tax increase. And I believe that one of the key areas of that is to do the continued effort, economic development. We have done an incredible job on that since we've implemented the economic development 2% tax. That's allowed us to be competitive in the area where we were not before in competing for new business. I think that we have got to concentrate our efforts on that and continue to do that. The results of that since 2007 have been 40 new projects and 8,000 new jobs. We can continue with that effort. We also need to relook at possibly revitalizing certain areas of this community and reconsider what the usage of those corners might be. They may have been abandoned properties, but now perhaps we need to relook at planning and zoning and what we could do there that may be more cost effective and produce revenues. In addition, I think that another area that we might look at within the city is to consider an expansion of the VIP program, and that's Volunteers in Plano. Almost 100,000 hours of volunteer service was put in last year, which equated to $1.8 million. Let's do more of that.